Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Player Prop Show for Wednesday, March 10th, 2021. It is great to be back live on the channel. Obviously, we had All-Star Weekend. We had the hiatus. Now we are finally back with two NBA games tonight. It's great to be back. That's all I can say. We got a little bit of a different setup. I'm actually down in Florida right now. Normally I'm in New York, but have a makeshift studio here in Florida, ready to talk about props. If you missed it, you could check out my NBA player prop video from this morning. Put it out on my YouTube channel earlier. It's in the link in the description below. That is where I discussed all my props that I'm taking tonight. There are 3 of them. So if you want that, be sure to check it out. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at @sports_Burd. Follow me on Instagram at @sports_Burd. And if you enjoy these videos, be sure to check out my Patreon in the link in the description below. I have an NBA player prop podcast for Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll have some additional ones this weekend to make up for some missed time due to the All-Star break. So I'm really excited for that. We got a big slate tomorrow. So podcast going up there on Patreon. Be sure to check it out. Also, before we get started, just wanted to mention Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight is a great place for player prop games. So if you're in these, live streams every day, if you love betting player props, Monkey Knife Fight is the place for you. You can bet props, for each individual NBA games. You could play prop games for college basketball games. This week is conference tournament week. We got March Madness, next week. You could play prop games with those, each individual game or the entire slate. Be sure to check it out. It's a lot of fun. You go into Monkey Knife Fight, and they will match your deposit 100% up to $50 with a promo code DUDE50, DUDE50. Be sure to check that out. Monkey Knife Fight, promo code DUDE50. Link in the description below. So now let's get right to it. And yeah, I already went through my player props before, so taking any and all questions like normal. This should be a short stream since we only have 2 games tonight. And let's get right to it. We got a question from Joker Jokic here. Glad to have you back in the stream also. So I'm excited for that. Thoughts on Doncic over 46.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Thinking about parlaying this with John Morant over 23.5 points. Yeah, so John Morant, spoiler alert, John Morant over 23.5 points was one of my picks for tonight. I think the Wizards are really, really good matchup for him. They let up a ton of points. And John Morant's heating up lately. He had 35 points in each of the 2 games before All-Star break. So I'm excited to see what he can do tonight against the Wizards. Now, in terms of Luka Doncic, 46.5 points, rebounds, assists. Look, I think that's a little bit too much is my worry. So yeah, obviously Doncic could hit 46.5 points, rebounds plus assists. But if there's any sort of blowout or not close game, there's pretty much no chance of that hitting. Or very minimal. And that's what I'm really worried about with Doncic. So personally, I would just stick with John Morant over 23.5 points by itself, not parlay it with Doncic 46.5. But, if you really do like Doncic, I would just take that separately because I'm not that confident in it, honestly. DeJounte Murray over 5.5 assists. Yeah, so DeJounte Murray, I actually looked into this one. The reason why I decided to hold off on DeJounte Murray over 5.5 assists is because look, the Dallas Mavericks, I believe they rank 4th. Let me just get this up here. I only have one screen down here with the makeshift studio, so bear with me here. But the Dallas Mavericks rank 4th in the NBA in opponent assists per game at 23.2. So I'm a little bit worried. Plus all these guys coming back for the Spurs. I'm a little bit worried about Murray's assist totals going down the next few games, especially with the matchup here against Dallas. Now, that being said, I think that, the reason why I did look so strongly into this is because 1, he's averaging 5.4 assists on the season. 2, so that's kind of right on the number, but mostly because the last 6 games, he's cleared this. So he's had last few games, he's got a 9, 6, 8, 7, 6, 6. Again, I'm a little bit worried with all the guys coming back. Luka Doncic, 8 rebounds. Yeah, so the Spurs, they're a very poor rebounding team. They actually ranked 27th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 48 allowed. That is why I'm taking Kristaps Porzingis over 9.5 rebounds tonight. In terms of Luka rebounds, obviously he has the matchup here, but let me just take a quick look at his past games. I believe I'm not huge on this. I don't hate it, but yeah, he's a little bit inconsistent with the rebounds. That's the thing. 10, 6, 3, 10, 7, 7, 8. I'm a little bit worried about Doncic. I would be a little bit more comfortable taking Kristaps Porzingis, which is why it's one of my picks today. Porzingis has feasted on teams that cannot rebound. So I would rather go with Porzingis than Luka. I'm not huge on Luka. Kyle Anderson, 12.5 points. Anderson goes up against Memphis as against Washington as well. Obviously, Washington, horrible on defense, 29th in the NBA in opponent points allowed per game. Anderson comes in averaging 13.4 points per game on the season. Last 2 games, he's gone 9, 13, 12, 13, 9. So he's kind of on the border there. Hasn't really cleared it. Obviously has the easy matchup. Personally, I'd rather stick with Morant. I'm not huge on Anderson at 12.5 points. I just think he doesn't really have scoring nights where he hits like significantly over. Yeah, he had like a 4-game stretch a couple of weeks ago where he did it, but his last 5 games he hasn't been really there, and he's very shaky with shots. So, he did have one game two games ago where he had 14 shots, but other than that, 6 shots, 8 shots, 8 shots. Not great. 12.5 points for a guy who's taking 6 or 8 shots a game. I'm not huge on that. I know it's against the Wizards. Russell Westbrook over 9.5 assists. That I like a lot. The Grizzlies, they are not good at defending opponent assists. They rank 22nd in that at 25.4 allowed per game to their opponents. So I like Russell Westbrook over 9.5 assists. Luka over 17.5 assists plus rebounds. I'm neutral on that, I would say. Again, I wouldn't do the 46.5 points, rebounds, assists, but I'm neutral on 17.5 assists plus rebounds. I'm okay with that. DeRozan points. I believe his points, DeRozan is at, I believe it's 19.5. Now, again, a lot of guys coming back for Dallas. That being said, I do like DeRozan's points total tonight. Again, guys are coming back, but Dallas is not very good on defense. I believe Dallas ranks 19th or 18th in terms of opponent points per game. Let me try to get this up here. They rank 18th in opponent points per game at 112.3. DeRozan averaging 20 points per game on the season. Last 2 games, he's gone 20, 10, 22, 32, 8, 23. Generally, I like DeRozan a lot. I'm good with DeRozan. And another person asking DeRozan, Joey here asking 20 points. I'm good with that. Good to have you back as well in the chat here. How do you feel about Kristaps Porzingis under 20.5 points? Yeah, so again, I'm on Kristaps over rebounds. Scoring, 20.5 does seem like it is a little bit much. I'm curious to check. So the Spurs are they're decent. They're 10th in the NBA in opponent points per game. And then in terms of points in the paint per game, not that Kristaps is huge in the paint, but they do rank 20th in that. Last few games for Kristaps, he's gone 19, 17, 18, 18, 36, 15. So generally he is under that. I'm neutral on it. I'm okay with you doing that for sure. I think it's a decent matchup for him, so I think it's possible he goes over, but 20.5 is probably just a little bit too high for him. His line should probably be at 18.5 or 19.5, probably around 19.5. It's probably a little bit like a point too high. Luka Doncic, 2.5 threes over. Yes, this is my most confident play of the day. Look, the guy has been unbelievable from 3 his last few games. If you want to check out my full video from earlier today with my 3 bets on tonight, check in the link in the description below. But that being said, I'll give you my notes on Luka here. Over his last 7 games, he's hit this every single game. Over this over the 7-game span where he's hit this over 2.5 threes prop every single game, he's averaging 4.3 threes made per game on 8.6 attempts. That's 50% from beyond the arc. Spurs rank 19th in opponent threes made per game at 13.1. They also rank 26th in opponent 3-point percentage allowed at 38.3. So as a result, I like Luka to go over. Odds aren't that bad either. I saw minus 129 on DraftKings earlier in the day. I'm not sure is that. Just so we can clear this up and have you on the record for everyone watching, what is your opinion on use the metrics? Use the metrics is in the metrics. Wow. So yeah, the metrics I discovered early on. I think that his model for college basketball, it worked for a while. I am not exactly sure. Obviously, he's on a cold run right now. I was monitoring it heavily when he was hot. Now I've stopped monitoring it a little bit. What's my opinion on it? I think that he created a model that definitely works well. I think he's just on a cold stretch. That's my opinion. So I think that the model does work for sure. I think it's effective. I think he's just probably on a cold stretch. I mean, the guy was on like a record hot streak. So, I mean, he was inevitably going to cool down, which is why if you were looking to tail that for that long, eventually it was probably going to tail off. But yeah, I think his model is obviously very good in my opinion. He's just on a cold streak. But now you're into March Madness, so I'm not so sure how this model will do the rest of the season. I think during the regular season, it's probably going to work a lot better. March, you have a lot more randomness, and it's a lot more hard to predict with these conference tournaments. March Madness going to be fun. I'm doing a ton of March Madness content next week, so be sure to tune into the channel. I'm going to have a ton of videos up. All right. Rui Hachimura, 18.5 points plus rebounds. Hachimura obviously goes up against Memphis here. Not a huge Rui fan. Let me just check his last few games. He's gone 9, 7, 2, 6. So he's been in single-digit scoring. Hasn't been rebounding a ton. Again, 18.5 isn't a big number, but I don't like. He takes 6 shots, 7 shots, 5 shots. His consistency is not there. I'm not huge on it. Wizards and Dallas win. I probably like Memphis tonight, but I don't think, again, if you want to do that, I don't think there's a big difference there. Dallas, I think, will win. Luka 2.5 threes for sure. I like it. Memphis win. I think Memphis, Washington's a toss up, but if I had to go with it, I would say Memphis under 237.5. Tough, but I think it should be okay because Memphis doesn't score a ton, but Washington's just so fast paced. Ja Morant 1.5 threes. Ja Morant 1.5 threes. You get good value at plus money. There was a game before where he shot like 13 threes, but ultimately I'm not huge on Ja Morant hitting over 1.5 threes, but he is taking more, so I don't think it's out of the question. I do think it's good value. Out of all those, my favorite is clearly Luka 2.5 threes. I think it's not close for me. The others I'm pretty neutral on. I would probably say that Memphis is my next most confident. I'm on the under and the Ja Morant threes. What are your favorite player props for Grizzlies versus the Wizards? So I have this in my video in the link below. Ja Morant over 23.5 points is my only play from there right now. Dylan Brooks, 17.5 points. Yeah, so I'm okay with taking a lot of guys over points for Memphis. It's just the question is, other than Ja Morant, who is going to be those other guys? That's the thing. Grayson Allen ruled out of this game, so you have a few more guys getting additional minutes. Dylan Brooks over 17.5. He had 20 and 23 in his last two, averaging 15.9 in the season, but he does have, occasionally have some games over 17.5. I'm neutral on it, but I would lean towards yes for that. Valanciunas over 12.5 rebounds. Oh, number seems a little bit high for Valanciunas, averaging 11.3 on the season. Now the Wizards, let me just go check this one sec. Yeah, so for example, with Valanciunas, he's just extremely inconsistent. 12 rebounds, 16, 6. So I don't know, explain that one to me. 11, 15, 15, 11, 15. So yeah, he had a good stretch, but last few games have been a little inconsistent. If you look at the Wizards in terms of rebounding here, the Wizards rank, they rank 25th in opponent rebounds per game. So yeah, favorable matchup. I would lean towards yes with it. Even though the line seems a little bit too high. I feel like his line should probably be at 11.5 instead. But I'm okay with it. Of the props mentioned so far, what would you feel safest parlaying with Ja Morant over 23.5 points? Easily Luka Doncic over 2.5 made threes. That's my most confident prop of the day by far, even over Ja Morant. Any other questions we got for today? Had a feeling this was going to be a little bit of a shorter one. Obviously, less questions since there are only 2 games. If you want a player prop podcast from me tomorrow, I will be on my Patreon talking about props. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you enjoy these. First of all, thank you so much for watching. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. If you have any other questions about, since there's only 2 games tonight, if you have any other questions about possible NBA futures, award bets, playoff bets, whatever you got, championship bets, March Madness, college basketball, Players Championship, ask any questions. It doesn't have to stick to just props tonight since there are only 2 games. Westbrook, 24.5 points, or Beal, 33.5. Both are a little bit high. If I had to choose one, I would go with Beal over 33.5. Beal is he's just a ridiculous scorer. I'm curious to just look at Westbrook, but Westbrook over 24.5 points seems a little bit lofty. A little bit lofty for Russ on that line, only averaging. Yeah, I mean, he's been scoring a lot the last few games, but still only once last game over 24 points. I'd rather go with Beal. Beal over 32.5, I'm good with it. Which is better on DeRozan? His points or points plus assists? Yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical on the assists. I think it could go down with he'll probably get less usage with I believe Derek White's back tonight. Vassell, some of these guys are coming back. I'm not sure if all of them are back tonight. I can actually check Fantasy Labs right now for that. Let's see what we got with the Spurs. I know Devin White is supposed to be back. What did they say about Vassell? All right, Derek White practiced Tuesday. Unclear if there will be able to. So, okay, Rudy Gay practiced. Devin Vassell practiced. All right, so if they're all practicing, yeah, none of them are. Okay, Vassell is out, but Gay and White are back. Aldridge also back. You got to assume that he's going to get probably a little bit less touches. So for the assists, I would rather go with points. Just points. Best NBA future bets as of today, in your opinion? Yeah. So I believe if I had to give you a futures bet, so let me just pull up DraftKings here, but I believe that the Nets, just want to pull this up to make sure I have the proper odds. We got, all right, team futures. So the Nets are plus 300 to win the championship. I don't see how that team loses at a best out of 7. I know, again, I know it's plus 300, but I don't think the Lakers should be favored right now. I just don't. And that being said, yeah, no, I'm sticking. The Nets are my championship pick. So I know it's plus 300, but I think that's decent value, honestly. I don't think the Lakers should be favored. Now, in terms of awards, if you want to look at something here, you want to look at a long shot. I think, here, wait, let me look at what else I could. Yeah, I think that would be like my firm future. I'm like pretty set on the Nets being champions this year. DeJounte Murray, 17.5 points. Luka Doncic, 29.5. I'm kind of average on both. I'd probably prefer Luka. I know this is an NBA Q&A, so wasn't sure if you do this for golf. I saw you have some golf content, so I figured I'd ask now. Who you got this week for TPC? Stoked for this field and tournament. All right, so I never actually put an official winner's pick in this week, but I do have some outright bets. If you want to check, on the YouTube channel, I have a betting video. But here are the bets I took for the players. I'll just tell you straight out. Let me just get this up just to make sure I do not leave any out. So I have Justin Thomas. at 20-1 to win. I have Webb Simpson 22-1, Tyrell Haddon 35-1, Matsuyama 40-1, Sam Burns 160-1 on FanDuel. I like a Sam Burns top 10 also at 12-1. And then I sprinkled I'm sprinkling a few top 30 bets as well on FanDuel. I think there's some really good value. Ryan Moore plus 500, Henrik Norlander plus 440, Brendan Steele plus 500, Kevin Streelman plus 480. You could check out my video though. Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a great week, great tournament. Obviously, the players. Yeah, I like Rory this week, maybe pulling for Spieth. I think Spieth could have a good week. He does not have a good course history here, has missed the cut in, I believe, 4 of his last 5, but he's playing really well. Colgate halftime win. Colgate, I know, is playing Bucknell today. Are they playing right now? Let me check. Yeah, I honestly don't have much thoughts. I would be lying if I said I did a lot of research on that today. But once the week winds down here and we get Selection Sunday, I'm gonna have a lot of videos coming out next week with content for that. Okay, Colgate plays at 7:30. First half win. Yeah, I mean they're favored 11.5. Colgate 12-1. In my limited research, I would say that's okay. DeRozan over 20.5. I'm good with that. Thank you, Daniel, for joining in and watching. Top 3 players to win for golf. So, yeah, I just read out my picks. Again, those are not necessarily who I think will win the tour. Obviously, I think that those guys I'm betting have a decent chance to win, but those are some really good value plays. So again, just to repeat myself, Justin Thomas 20-1, Webb Simpson 22-1, Tyrell Hatton 35-1, Matsuyama 40-1, and then Sam Burns 160-1 are my outrights. Out of those, which are my top three? Hatton, I think there's great value there at 35-1. Justin Thomas 20-1. I think there's great value with Burns also. That being said, I do like a few other guys that I'm not going to bet this week. I like Morikawa a lot. I think Morikawa, like, he fits the course really well. Irons are dialed in, obviously always hits fairways, which is important this week considering there's water all over. If you guys want to check out some more of my golf content, so I have 2 videos this week, one talking about DraftKings, one talking about bets, all on my channel. You can check that out. Also, I was on a live stream over on Sal Vetri's YouTube channel earlier today, so you go check that out. Me and him were talking golf, talking DraftKings lineup construction, talking golf bets, breaking down stats. So if you are interested in some more of my golf content, be sure to check that out. Get on soccer betting. Yeah, so soccer, I am more of an international soccer fan. I don't follow club soccer that much, but once international soccer rolls around, I'll be following a little bit more. Asking for a friend, isn't Reed just the worst? Yeah, I'm not the biggest Reed fan. I'm not the biggest Reed fan. Do you think Mavs Spurs stays close? Yeah, I think it should. I mean, you never know with the NBA these days, but I think it should. Any other questions we got tonight? Longer stream than I expected with just the 2 games. Excited. If you got any other random questions, just be sure to ask. Any other questions? Once again, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. Be sure to check out my Patreon link below. We got a podcast coming tomorrow, another podcast this weekend talking about NBA player props. Should be a lot of fun. Follow me on Twitter at sports_Burd if you haven't already. Yeah, thanks a lot, man, for checking in. Any other questions we got? Anything else? Anything else? We'll give it a couple more minutes, or a couple more seconds, I should say. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll just just talking about the March Madness next week real quick while I wait for some other questions. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of March Madness next week. I'm going to post a video coming on Monday that's going to talk about tips on how to win your March Madness tournament. By the way, this is haven't released this info yet, but I will be releasing it shortly. Yeah, so I'm releasing a video on Monday, tips on how to win your March Madness bracket. I had a great run last time in 2019. I had Virginia winning the whole thing. Obviously, that was a great tournament for me. But yeah, over the years, I've learned a lot of tips on how to best win your March Madness bracket. So I'm going to release a video talking about that. Also, probably coming around next Tuesday. I'm not sure if anyone is aware of Eric Haslam from HaslamMetrics.com, but we are doing a show together on this channel, breaking down the entire bracket. So really excited for that. And then possibly a few more videos as well, possibly a live stream answering questions about March Madness. So obviously next week is going to be like huge. I'm excited. Hachimura under 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. I'm good with that. I'm not a huge Rui fan, so I'm good with that. Any for sure bets tonight you'd put 200 on? I'm huge on Luka Doncic's over threes at 2.5. Will I be putting out a bracket? I'm unsure whether I'm gonna make a video choosing my bracket or not. If I don't do that, I'll tweet out my bracket probably the day before, the day of. But you'll get a sense of where all my picks are at when I do the preview and stuff, because I'll probably talk about who I'm taking. But this is going to be a great preview. If you're very unaware of Eric Haslam from HaslamMetrics.com, HASLAM, so HaslamMetrics.com. Basically, his website is great. His website breaks down pretty much all the teams analytically. Basically, it's like a different version of Ken Palm, but it projects a score each day, completely free. Be sure to check that out. He's going to be on my channel next week talking about March Madness. It's going to be great. Do I post my bets on Instagram? I probably should. I created the Instagram at sports_Burd, but I have not been using it that much. So yeah, I gotta get the Instagram content rolling. You playing any head-to-head matchups, and if so, do you generally go 2-ball or 3-ball? Are you? I'm assuming you're talking about golf. Not playing any head-to-head matchups for golf as of now. I'm not. I'm not a huge matchup guy for golf. I'll normally take my outrights and do DraftKings, and that's about it. And sometimes top 20, top 30 bets for huge tournaments like this. Obviously, Players Championship is like your unofficial major, so excited for it. Best, safest three-player prop parlay for the NBA today. Yeah, so my 3 picks for today. If you want the full explanation, be sure to check it out in the link in the description below. We got Ja Morant over 23.5 points, Luka Doncic over 2.5 threes, and Kristaps Porzingis over 9.5 rebounds. Those are my 3 picks. So if you're interested in learning why or learning more info, I already spoke a lot about 2 of those earlier in the stream here, but I also have a whole video on it from earlier in the day, link in the description below. But those are the 3. Anything else we got? Very happy with the stream tonight. Only a 2-game slate, and we still got some people in here. Love to see it. Jonas Valanciunas double-double. Grizzlies win. Worth it today? I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Anything else we got? Last minute questions before we head off. If you're in here, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. Really helps me out. Great to see everyone in here once again. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Also, be sure to check out Monkey Knife Fight. You could take the props that I spoke about here, put them in games in Monkey Knife Fight, get some great multipliers there. Promo code DUDE50. You get an 100% deposit match up to $50. It's a great deal. Look, so you put in 50, you get another free 50 from them. It's free money. Gotta love it. Kristaps or Luka? In terms of points, in terms of rebounds, in terms of rebounds, I'm taking Kristaps. I'm going with Kristaps's rebounds prop at 9.5. So that's the info I could give you there. Yeah, all good. Kristaps over rebounds, 9.5. All right. Any other last minute plays? Alrighty, once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I will be on my Patreon tomorrow talking about NBA props. We got a huge slate tomorrow. Really excited for this big Thursday slate, heading into the Players Championship as well for golf. Going to keep the golf content rolling each week. Really enjoyed doing that. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @sports_Burd, Instagram at @sports_Burd, and yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the week. The rest of the week's coming. Goodbye, everyone, and good luck with your NBA props tonight.